If we are meeting for the first time, then hi, my name is Chloe. Welcome to my channel. And if you're a returning subscriber, then welcome back. Let me just say, I had no intentions of recording a video today. My daughter just left her dad's house and I just wanted to stay in bed. I wanted to stay in bed. I wanted to relax. I wanted to soak up this energy. I wanted to just work on my vision board. But the way that spirit was like, you need to go record this because somebody needs to hear your testimony. Somebody needs to do this for the new year. So here we are. Not just that, but it was so hard for me to record this video because every time I tried, it just sounded like extremely like echoey. There was a lot of echo, and if when I upload this it still sounds echoey, I'm sorry, but this is just what we're working with. Also, my dog's neighbors are going crazy, was barking out of nowhere. The sun was coming in and out. There's no good lighting. So here we are in my bed and we're gonna record this video. I don't believe in coincidences, so if you are watching this video, then I believe that there is something in this video for you. And if you clicked on it because of the title, then this is something that spirit definitely wants you to do. But I just wanted to take a second to talk about the importance of calling in your destiny helpers. And let me just be honest, this is not something that I always did when I was praying. This is something that I literally started doing in the month of November, and I'm going to get into why. Um, but I think that as humans, we are so conditioned to be in our masculine energy of like always doing, and it is so hard for us to like receive, to be in receiving mode. Not just for us to be in receiving mode, but also the way that society has conditioned us. It's so hard for us to be vulnerable and be open about, like things that are going on in your life and like where you were on your journey. We're so conditioned to be ashamed, like if you haven't reached like a certain level of success or if you haven't attained certain things in your life. And before I get into it, I just want you to know that it's okay. It's okay for you to be vulnerable. It's okay for you to not be where you want to be at in your life. Like we are all on this journey. We're all going through all these life changes collectively together. And this is my point in having this channel, is for you to know that it's okay. There's other people like you out there that are going through the same things that you're going through. And I think that's what makes this so beautiful, is that we are able to share our stories with each other and show each other that not only are we on the same path, the same journey, but like a lot of us are also facing the same things. And what led me to the whole calling in my destiny helpers, because I do 1000% believe that we have other souls that are contracted with us, not just in terms of like relationships or like family or things like that, but there are certain seasons that you're in your life, certain things that you're going through in your life, and you have other souls on the planet with you that are contracted with you to come in and to help you in whatever situation you're in, whatever season you're in. They are there, they're meant to come into your life and to help you go through these things. But the thing is, what I've realized, at least with my experience, is that until you decide to ask source, ask God, ask the universe, ask the divine to bring these people in, a lot of times these people are just not going to come into your life. Like, you need to open yourself up. You need to decide that, okay, I'm at the point in my journey where it's getting hard, it's getting tougher, whatever the case may be, but I am ready for help. I am ready for, like whoever the universe, God, source, the divine wants to send into my life to help me with this journey that I'm on or go through this situation that I'm going through. Like, I am open and I'm ready to receive the help. And that is the whole point of calling destiny helpers, because a lot of times we're going through things in our lives, and because we're operating from a place of ego and we're not in our like feminine energy of being receptive, you're there going through all these hardships, when all you have to do is surrender and open yourself up and ask the universe, ask God to send in the people that are going to help you, because you are ready to receive the help. You are ready to receive the blessings. And I promise you, I guarantee you, these people are going to show up in your life and they are going to help you without you even needing to do anything. And I'm going to share two different examples, two different testimonies, things that have happened in my life where it's just like, if I had not asked God, if I had not prayed, if I had not asked the divine, if I had not had asked source to help me and bring these people in, I don't know where I would be. So in November, if you're watching this, I don't know when you're going to watch this, but today's January 1st. In November, all of the middle of November and the beginning of December, I was literally on the verge of being homeless, my daughter and I. I was facing an eviction notice, which I did post a video about this. I was on the verge of facing, like, it was already pre-eviction notice. My complex was like, that's it, we're filing it, we're sending this to our lawyers, because I hadn't paid for November and I hadn't paid for December. Now, a little backstory: I moved into my apartment June 1st, 2024. Literally June 9th, I lost my job. So 9 days or 8 days after, I like, this is so wild. Moved in June 1st, June 9th, I was working as a kindergarten teacher, and the school didn't renew my contract because I was not a certified teacher now. My major is not in education and I didn't have the teaching certificate. So they were like, hey, you know, like, even though we love you as a teacher, but the school is extremely strict and we do require for teachers to be certified, and you don't have a certification. So therefore, you know, like, we have to not renew your contract. So long story short, I went the whole summer without a job. I was paying my rent, which I live in a very expensive city, and as a single parent, it's a lot paying damn near $2,700 monthly by yourself. So I was paying my rent by myself using my savings up until the month of October. So October was literally the last money that I had. So I paid my rent, and November came and I couldn't pay. Like, I literally had, I think it was $80 in my bank account, and that was it. So I had no money to pay the $26.50 a month. Like, I had no money to pay for that. So long story short, I was taking a shower one day. Let me just say that I manifested somebody coming into my life, a complete stranger, and ends up paying for my 2 months of rent, which prevented me from, or which helped me and saved me from being evicted. And today I'm still in my apartment. Thank you, Spirit. So long story short, and if you do want to see a video of how the steps that I did, or the different things that I did to manifest the person coming in, or me aligning myself with the person so that they can help me, I will do a video about this. But right now we're going to talk about calling in the destiny helpers. So I was in the shower one day, and this is after I had received countless of emails from the association. The pre-eviction notice was on my door when I got home. Like, it was like, you are about to get evicted. You have 1 week, or we're sending this to our lawyers and the process is starting. So I was in the shower, and I get a lot of my downloads when I'm in water. That's just for me. So I was in the shower and I was just asking, you know, the divine, like, what can I do? Like, what is it that I need to do to help me in this season that I'm in, to help me with this situation that I'm facing? Like, what do I need to do in order for me to receive a breakthrough? And the word that I got was, you need to call in your destiny helpers. So I said, okay. When I was praying from that day onwards, the entire week, every time I was praying, I was always telling the divine, I am open and I'm ready for my destiny helpers to come into my life and to help me with the situation that I'm facing. Now, let me just say that I did end up getting a job in November. I ended up getting 2 jobs, actually, teaching again, but also working as a tutor. So one of the days I go to my tutoring job, and this was on a Saturday. I go to my tutoring job, and they're like, hey, because you're still fairly new, we are going to pair you with one of her more not like advanced tutors, but like a tutor that's been here for ages. She's an older woman, you know, she's a teacher, she's great, just so you can shadow her and see, you know, like what you need to do. So long story short, I end up being paired with the lady. We click immediately, we start talking about teaching and all of that, and some way somehow the conversation comes up, and I end up letting her know that I was facing an eviction notice. And this is something that old me would have never done, would have never shared that with anyone, just because out of like fear and like shame and like just afraid of being judged by somebody else. But you know, like I'm on this journey and I want to live as authentically as possible as me. And I believe that there is power in sharing our stories, because you just never know who might be going through the same thing as you, or just you sharing your story might give somebody hope. You know, like it might be a message. I just knew that I needed to share that with this woman that I had just met for the first time in my life. She was a complete stranger to me. So I end up telling her that, and she's like, when the tutoring session is done, you and I will talk. So, long story short, I end up having a conversation with this lady after, and she offers to pay my rent, which was a total of $5,521. A complete stranger. I had never met this lady in my life before. This was the very first day that I met her. I felt guided to explain my situation to her, and explained the situation to her, and she was just like, I'm going to help you. She was like, I'm going to help you because I'm a mom myself, and we're near the holidays, and just God put it in my heart for me to give you the money, and I'm going to help you. Y'all, this lady within a few days had gone to the bank. She got a cashier's check, $5,521, made it out to me. I met up with her. I picked up the check, went to the bank, deposited the cashier's check, waited for that to clear. At this point, the people in my complex, like I'm having to send like multiple emails throughout the day just to tell them like, hey, please hold off, like give me a few more days, don't send the letter. I had to send screenshots that I deposit the money into my account, like please don't send the, you know, like my eviction yet to your lawyers for them to take it to court, because I promise you, like I can pay this, like just give me a few more days. So the check ends up clearing, and I took it to the leasing office, and I got to keep my apartment. And I'm 100% sure, had I not received that download, well, I know that the divine would not have, you know, like allow my daughter and I to be homeless, especially like around the holidays. But had I not asked for me to be aligned with my destiny helpers, had I not said that I was open and I was ready to call in my destiny helpers, it would have been so hard for me to come up with $5,521. The only thing I had in my bank account at this point was $80, and barely even that, because when I started my new job, I needed to buy uniforms for me to wear to work. So that already was like, I spent like $50. So all I had in my bank account was $30 for gas and food. And not only did the lady end up giving me the money for my rent, she ended up giving me extra money also for me to do groceries for my daughter, for me to pay for my car insurance, for me to put gas in my car, for me to get to work. So this was the first testimony. Now, for the second testimony, this literally just happened yesterday, New Year's Eve. So because the job that I had gotten, or the job that I had, was extremely far from my house. I was driving an hour and 15 minutes just to get to work, and 45 minutes to come back. So I was spending 2 hours driving. So my car is older, so that all of that driving every single day was taking a toll on my car, and my brake pads were completely worn out. Like when I was braking my car, it was this really loud and like screeching sound. But again, because I was in a tight spot financially, I couldn't afford to change my brake pads or anything. And when I was looking online how much it was to replace my brakes, everything was coming out between like 200 to like $800. And there was no way I was going to spend that on brakes. So December 30th, I'm driving with my daughter in my car. And we get into a car accident. We get into a car accident because when I tried to stop my car, the car in front of me stopped. When I tried to stop my car because my brake pads and my brakes are bad, my car ends up not stopping. So I hit the person in front of me. So as I hit the person in front of me, you know, the guy comes out. His car barely had a scratch. He was like, look, you know, like, we're fine. Just go home. He's like, you and your daughter go home. Like, we're chilling. God bless you. You don't even have to worry about it. I told him, I'm like, look, you can take a picture of my license. We can exchange phone numbers. He was like, we can do all of that, but I'm just letting you know that, like, I'm not going to call the cops. Like, we're okay. Just go home, lady. Take your daughter and go home. So at this point, my car is just, when I try to stop, when I try to brake, it's just extremely hard for my car to brake. It's making all sorts of sounds and just, it was in terrible condition. So I told my daughter, I'm like, you know what, we're gonna go home. So we end up going home. It was so scary driving. I'm like, let's not drive it today. Let's wait until tomorrow, which was December 31st. I'm gonna go to the mechanic and just see what they tell me. So we wake up December 31st. We get into my car. And before I started driving, I turned on my car and I was like, I'm gonna ask the divine for the same thing. Align me with destiny helpers that are going to help me today to fix my brake pads. And I did not want to spend more than $140. I don't know how it was gonna happen, but I was like, my limit is $140. Source, divine, God, universe, you hear me, you see what I'm going through. I cannot afford to spend more than $140. So please send me my destiny helpers for the day that are going to help me resolve this situation for under $140. So we're in the car. I turn on my car. As I'm reversing, it's extremely hard for me to reverse or even like stop my car. So I'm having to drive extremely slow because, again, my brakes, if I tap too hard, my car is going to shake and it might hit the car either in front of me or behind me as I'm backing out. So I see there's three men in my complex, three older men. One of them is the maintenance guy. There's another one that's about maybe like 45-ish, and then his dad. So as I'm backing out, they're guiding me and all that. So I back out of my car, I back my car out, and then I lower the window and I told the guy, I'm like, hey, thank you for guiding me. It's not that I couldn't back out, but because my brakes are so bad, I had to drive my car extremely slow. And he was like, okay, he was like, well, can you pull into this parking spot so that we can see? At this point, he hears the noise that my car is making. So I'm like, okay, no problem. So I pull into the parking spot, and long story short, the older guy ends up checking my car and he's like, I'm gonna help you fix it. And I was like, is this something you can do? Mind you, it's so crazy how like spirit works and like the divine works, because mind you, out of the three men, two of them don't know not one single word of English. Only the maintenance guy that barely knows English, but that is translating for me. I speak Spanish because my dad's Dominican, but my Spanish is not all that where I can sit here and just explain like details about my car, go into details about my brakes and all of that. So we're just here they're using Google Translate on their phone, showing me what they're trying to say. I'm using the little bit of Spanish that I know, and just we're finding a way to communicate, but we're making it work. So the guy's like, look, I can help you. He's like, it's the brake pads that are worn out and I'm gonna help you fix them. So I'm like, okay, great. So I'm like, how much is this going to cost? Because I know nothing about cars. I don't know where to get, like where to get anything for cars. And he was like, do you have another car that you can drive and go pick up the brake pads? And I'm like, no. So he's like, you know what? Just get in my car and I'll take you to buy them. So we end up going to auto parts. We find the brake pads. The total comes out to $71, a lot cheaper than what I intentionally had asked for, which was $140. We get back into my complex. The man ends up fixing my brake pads, and when he's done, I was like, okay, like, can I give you some money? Can I gift you money? Because you know, like you just saved me hundreds of dollars and you just spent half of your morning laying on the ground, you know, fixing my car for me. And he was just like, no. He was just like, no, I don't need anything from you. I don't want anything from you. I did this because I felt in my spirit. I'm saying this and I have chills. And he was just like, I felt in my spirit that I just needed to do this for you. It's New Year's Eve. You have a daughter. This is your only car. I don't want you guys to be stuck at home, or I don't want you to, you know, when school starts, you can't take your kid to school. You can't go to work. I don't want you to do any of that. I just wanted to help you. So keep your money and Happy New Year's. And just like that, my car was fixed. And again, had I not asked for destiny helpers, had I not told the universe, had I not asked God to align me with my destiny helpers for the day, I would have not had my car fixed. I would have not had my car fixed pretty much for free, even though I did spend the $71. But regardless, this is money that I was going to have to send if I did take it to a shop, which would have been a lot more expensive. But I would have not had this man work on my car for me entirely for free and did not want anything, like nothing from me. So I just wanted to share this because, again, like I said, I feel like somebody out there needs to hear this. Somebody needs to start incorporating this into their practice, into their routine. When you're talking to God, when you're talking to source, the universe, the divine, whatever it is that you pray to, just ask to send you the people who are meant to help you. You know, like tell source that you were open, you were ready for your destiny helpers to come into your life, and just watch what happens. Watch who shows up for you. But most importantly, when the people show up, when the help shows up, I want you to be ready to receive it. I want you to be open, for you to be ready to receive it, for you to not be in your ego, for you to not feel ashamed, for you to not feel like people are going to judge you, because you've put out the requests into the universe that you are ready for those people to come into your life to help you. So when they show up, I want you to be ready. Like, just be ready. Be ready. And if you're coming across this video, then I'm trusting that, you know, like this is something that you needed to hear. And especially now that we are in a new year, I want you to just take a second. Take a second when you're praying, you know, when you're journaling, whatever it is that you do, just take a second and just, or even now while you're watching the video, just take a second and just tell the divine, I am open, I am ready. I am ready to call in my destiny helpers. I am ready to be aligned with the people who are supposed to help me in this season that I'm in this situation that I'm going through. I'm open and I'm ready to receive the help. Just say it and just watch what happens for you. Watch who shows up for you. And like I said, most importantly, be open, be willing to receive the help. Be in surrender mode. Be receptive to what it is that shows up for you, because you've put the request out. So whatever is showing up for you is meant for you. It is a gift from the universe. It is a gift from the divine. It is a gift from source. So just be open and ready to receive it. So I'm going to leave it here because I'm going to go to the park and just lay on the grass. Lay on the grass and just soak up this beautiful energy. And I wish you a happy new year. And if this message did resonate with you, then please like, comment on the video, subscribe to the channel if you want to. And if this is something that you're going to try, let me know in the comments. Or if this is something that you have tried, or if you've had experiences with you know, asking for help and then the universe God sending somebody in to help you, then let me know in the comments, because I would absolutely love to hear from you. So I'm going to leave it here. I wish you a wonderful and amazing day. And if nobody told you today, you are so loved and you are so supported and so protected by spirit. And I love you, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.